I believe that for organizations to be future-proof, we are going to need more hierarchies, not less. Hierarchy is what we find when two or more people come together, and it's something that we find in all social animals. It's a combination of kinship, how well do we know each other, how close we are, and social status. Social status is the distribution of power, who is in charge. This creates what we call the social script, the behavior that is expected and allowed, and ultimately this is the behavior that will determine what is possible. An organization chart is a good example of trying to capture that dynamic into a snapshot, and we may be tempted to ask when we look at that picture, which position is the most important in order to get things done over here? Three types of answers that we typically get. The first one, the person who is in the top position. The person who is in charge because this is the person who has the authority to get things done and who carries the vision to inspire the troops. The second type of answer we get is the frontline people at the bottom of the organization chart, because if people are not committing to your goals, you might as well forget it. Third type of answer, middle management, because if they are unable to get it all organized, the initiative will fail big time. So there you are, three types of answers, and all of them are justified. But the truth is that there is no telling which position on an organization chart is most important in order to get things done. It is not about the positions, it is not about the reporting lines, but rather it is about the space in between the positions and the reporting lines. Think, for example, about a successful project in your organization, and chances are you will find that this was a result of a successful collaboration between people across all those boxes and across all those reporting lines. But for that to happen, we need a context of psychological safety. With that I mean a climate in which it is okay for people to speak up when they have relevant thoughts or feelings with regards to an initiative. So when I say that we need more hierarchy, I mean in the first place that we need a richer use of that space between the reporting lines and the boxes. But sometimes, regardless of how good we are at providing psychological safety, that is simply not enough for an organization to be future-proof. The social script of just one single layer of hierarchy is too restrictive. And that is when we feel the need for more than one hierarchy. And the way I like to visualize that is with extra layers of hierarchy that come on top of the first hierarchy. In those layers, instead of talking about positions, we start to address roles. And a project is a good example of that. In a project we have different roles, different responsibilities, different boundaries, and all of a sudden there is a social script in which different things become possible. Also, the boundaries may be different. For a certain type of project you may want to involve not only the people who are on the payroll, but also customers, suppliers, contractors, etc. And it is as a result of that extra layer of hierarchy that different things become possible that would otherwise not have been possible through one single layer of hierarchy. So there you go, multiple layer of hierarchies. Another example of an extra layer of hierarchy is what my friend Koen is currently doing. Koen is working for a big telco company here in Belgium, and they have chosen to create that extra layer of hierarchy with the specific purpose of innovation. Now, instead of launching an expensive market research or benchmarking study or anything that one single layer of hierarchy would be capable of, they have chosen to create an additional layer of hierarchy, involve millennials, involve other contractors and involve other players in order to learn about the digital needs of millennials, because they know that is how they will make their organization future-proof. Now I'm very curious to find out within 10 weeks what the results will be of that extra layer of hierarchy, and more so I am curious to find out how the original hierarchy and the leaders of that original hierarchy will be capable of resonating with the new possibilities that will come out of that. That will be a big challenge. And this brings me to my last point, that is the point of leadership. If we want leadership in future-proof organizations, we will be needing leaders who are capable of holding the space for multiple hierarchies at the same time. So in short, I am convinced that hierarchies are not the problem. But when we start using them as instruments of fear, that's when we run into trouble. What we need is multiple hierarchies that we use as vehicles for continuously adapting and for making our organizations future-proof.